All right, everybody, we are live here at Uries in Wildwood at the foot of the bridge. It is the 97.3 ESPN Fantasy Football League. Let's do the whip around. Josh, and of course, we are live on my YouTube and X platforms. Momentarily, we will be live on the 97.3 ESPN X as well, as long as I can get that thing up and running. All right, let's do the rundown here. So first of all, Nick Earnshaw. He is the defending reigning champ, which means he has the final pick of the first round of the draft. Nick, how you feeling today?
Oh, I'm feeling sensational here, Josh Hennig. Thanks for setting this up here at Uries in Wildwood. I got to say, back-to-back picks today, back-to-back championship coming. I mean, is that loading? I might have to say that. That could be happening. That could be something to show for heading down later in the year.
Well, a man who might have something to say about that is last year's champ, which is Andy McNamara, who joins me every Saturday for fantasy football segments. He's got the ring there, Nick. You see, he's got the ring.
I like
He'll
that
show
voice.
you.
Huh? Yeah, look at that.
Wow.
I got some more fingers to put some on, so I want another one this year. I got my Baker Mayfield woke up feeling dangerous shirt for motivation. Let's go.
Also, to my right is Billy Schweim from the locker room on 97.3 ESPN, who I'm sorry to say, Billy, you've never won this league.
No, I haven't, and I'll be defending myself at the draft because I guarantee I'll make you all laugh. That's for sure.
Also joining us, the new Sunday producer for the locker room with Billy Schweim, Alex Berardis, is joining us down here at Uries in Wildwood. What's up, Alex?
New kid on the block, looking to cause some havoc. Got the number 2 pick tonight. We're going to make a splash.
Also joining us on the stream is Pete G, of course, producer for the Sports Bash with Mike Gill on 97.3 ESPN. The man who actually had my job before my job, and then he left, and then he migrated back to New Jersey. What's up, Pete?
What's up, Josh? Thanks for getting me in here last minute. 5th overall pick. Take the points. I'm going to be taking the money all season long, talking trash all the way until February.
And at some point, Casey Joyner will jump on the stream with us as well. So for those who didn't see what we did last year, so last year, what happened is that Casey and Andy would comment, basically alternating after every pick. So we would get expert analysis. Also joining us at Uries, by the way, Jim, our director of sales at Town Square, 97.3 ESPN.
Hey,
He's hiding behind the scenes. He's very focused. He's very zoned in. He wants to win this thing this year after coming in 3rd place last year. So Jim is here. Also joining us in the league this year, as always, is Dashawn Hendricks, my former co-host on 97.3 ESPN, 2-time league champ. Oh, by the way, can you tell him I already sent him the link? Tell him I sent the link already. So if Billy Schweim can text. Billy's turning into me now all of a sudden.
Well, we have a new bit on 97.3 ESPN's The Locker Room with Billy Schweim. Billy versus technology. That's an ever-occurring, I guess, battle every single Saturday and Sunday.
A comedy hour. Is that what it is?
I think technology is undefeated, right? Technology has not lost at all.
In this case, yes, it is.
So I can't do 2 things at once, PG, text and talk. So that's why I'm a little quiet right now.
Walk and chew bubblegum.
All right, so we are now live on my X, also the X of 97.3 ESPN. The draft starting in less than a minute. And, of course, we are here thanks to Uries at the foot of the bridge in the Wildwood. The seafood extraordinary, the value tremendous, the sunsets on the house. Uries Waterfront Restaurant in the boathouse at the foot of the bridge in Wildwood. Be like 97.3 ESPN and host your fantasy football draft at Uries in Wildwood. Of course, the Phillies are still losing right now 3-0. So thank God we have a fantasy draft to do because this should just be a depressing day. So, all right, guys, countdown is on. Also, the guy who was one of our producers, Nate, he'll be with Billy Schweim tomorrow when he's at Ocean City High School. Nate has the first pick, followed by Alex Berardis. After that will be Mr. Negadelphia, PJ Corda, and then Billy Schweim, and then Pete G. That rounds out the top 5 picks of the draft. Well, that happened. I
think
muted it
draft
on my
started.
end. I guess somebody else's
I think the
computer
draft
had it
started.
blaring.
The draft
Draft
is
I
already
think the
started,
draft
Josh.
started.
Here we go, boys.
Whoa.
So Nate is on the clock.
And
Now the
Negadelphia is
Negadelphian's on the
up.
clock.
Let's see if he's in. Is he in?
Wow, that was quick. All right, hold on. So who just got picked?
Chase 101,
Oh.
Bijan 102.
All right.
Wow.
Okay. Pretty standard.
Shocker.
The running back depth is tough once you get past those few guys up at the top. So you got to take them when
Negadelphia,
you
is he
can.
in? Do we know if he's in? 'Cause it's
Good
getting down to
question.
17.
He might be auto picking here.
Looks like Jay Jett is going to be a
Ooh.
Negadelphian.
Negadelphia.
Oh, auto pick already.
Wow.
First
Try
Maybe
to-
that
that's
guy.
sad. That's sad.
But look how
DJ.
it works out. Look,
Well, in his-
look
in-
who
in his
falls to
defense,
the
he's
locker room.
He's in North Carolina, so maybe he's out in the Outer Banks when they have no technology out there.
Well, Billy, you're up.
Look
All
who
right.
falls to Billy. Look how it just works
See, I
out.
told
so
you I was going to take him,
perfectly.
and there I took it. Saquon Barkley, baby.
All right, Andy, I'm sure you're not surprised by any of these first four picks.
No, you got to, it's all going in order. The first five, Jahmyr Gibbs, that's obvious. I think we know who's probably going next as well. Not to tip any hands here, but it's going to be pretty standard, right? It's going to start getting more interesting end of round one.
So just to review this,
Oh,
Nate
McCaffrey.
took Jamar Chase, number 1. Bijan Robinson went to Alex, number 2. PJ auto drafted, looks like, I guess, number 3. Justin Jefferson, although I'm a little confused because I don't need to send a link for the draft. But anyway, it says internet is dicey, says PJ. See? That's what happens.
So
when you go
PJ
random
is in
places.
there.
Lamar
You gotta
rotated.
roll
Billy
with it.
Schweim is number 4 with Saquon Barkley. PG, number 5, Jahmyr Gibbs. Number 6, Scott Grayson. He took Christian McCaffrey. Number 7, Jim McLean took Amon-Ra St. Brown. Casey Joyner jumped in, took my favorite guy, Ashton Genty.
Yeah. I was hoping he'd fall to me, Josh. A little disappointed.
Life is disappointing, Andy.
That
Again,
is
we
very
are
true.
live. We are live here at Uries in Wildwood. I'm glad to see everybody is keeping pace with this draft. Dashawn, the 2-time league champ, took A.J. Brown.
Well,
Oh, A.J.
I'm on the
Brown's not going
clock.
to practice today.
I'm
Andy
taking
McNamara's
CeeDee
on
Lamb,
the
boys. I'm taking CeeDee Lamb. I did not think he'd fall to me. I'm taking CeeDee Lamb of the Cowboys.
As you should.
All right, let's see what I got here.
Now we got the quick turn.
I'll go to Nakua.
There
There
we
you
go.
go. Puka.
Puka.
All
Did I
right.
get him?
Oh, I'm on the clock, Billy.
Okay.
Nick, any thoughts before I pick ahead of
Do
you?
what
here?
you pick a player you want to pick. Do what you got to do.
Oh, he's
Josh.
going to tell me what to do.
do
Thanks,
what you
guys.
got to do.
He's going to tell the league manager what to do. Thanks.
Oh, you went Jacobs. Interesting.
Oh. Taylor.
By the way, Yuri's the best crab balls on the planet right here in Wildwood. That's going to be my munch down over here in just a moment here,
Yeah,
folks.
Josh, swing one of those.
All right, so I can confirm I muted my screen. So somebody, either Pete or Andy.
Not me.
Or-
Whoever's up.
I
right
got
now,
my
right?
draft on a different computer.
All right, well, I'm up anyway, so I can't blame Andy then.
You can try, brother.
I mean, I don't know if I should blame Pete either, because for all I know, he crossed his T's
I got
and
a
dotted
lot.
his I's. Maybe I didn't, but all right, I got
There we
15
go.
seconds to make a pick here.
Which
So,
pick?
oh boy, jeez, oh boy.
Ooh. Who'd you
Interesting
take?
pick.
Oh, Bowers.
I took Brock
How
Bowers.
come I don't? My guys aren't
Wow.
showing up.
You got to go to your tab, Billy.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Right there. No, stop. So
Now, I
that's who
love
you already
me-
drafted.
I
and
love me
that's
some
who's
Brian
available.
Thomas Jr. guys, but I don't have a
So
running
pick
back.
somebody.
I don't have a running back. I'm going to go Bucky Irving of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Might be a bit of a reach, but I don't have a
Trying to
pick
get-
for a while. Going to do it.
Billy, you got to pick somebody.
I did. I
What
just hit
did-
the button twice. Eric Henry.
You're not up yet.
He's not up for like 6 picks.
Yeah, what are you doing, Billy?
It says
Strike
the locker
one.
room right here. I told you guys to be laughing at me.
All right, let me scroll this tab down.
Mark,
Again, we are
Mark.
live on my YouTube and X at Josh Hennig. So, Jonathan Taylor picked by Nick Earnshaw, followed by Puka Nakua. I love the Puka Nakua pick, by the way, Earnshaw. The smart move by
Had him
you.
last year.
Bucky
Oh, my
Irving, Andy McNamara. And the first quarterback, as always, is drafted by Dashawn Hendricks. Because there's nothing could be finer than Dashawn Hendricks drafting Lamar Jackson. That is on brand for my guy Dashawn. I wish he was here right now. I would so definitely about that. Casey Joyner took Josh Allen. David Achan went to Jim McClain. And then Scott Grayson took Derrick Henry.
Wanted him.
Billy Schweim, you are 2 picks away.
I know this is a fantasy draft right now, but Taiwan Walker's getting shelled right now. This is disgusting.
It is disgusting. That's why I'm not paying attention to the game.
Bad
on
for the
television.
brand.
It's for the brand.
I thought wearing my Scott Kingery jersey tonight was going to give us some good luck, but
Maybe he did the opposite.
yeah, I think so.
All right, Andy, how do you think about this draft so far? We've gotten 2 quarterbacks going by.
It's usually a bit early, but you got 2 of the best fantasy quarterbacks going. So is it, or do you get the best guy? I always question when you take a quarterback that early, then you really got to swing back and make sure you hit on those other positions, wide receiver and specifically running back a little bit later on. But hey, you can't argue. Lamar and Josh Allen, they're perennial fantasy superstars.
Billy, you are up.
I see it.
PG took Nico Collins.
Ooh,
So that's a very interesting move.
nice.
By the way, Nick Earnshaw is eating flats right now. Just want to let everybody know.
How's the food there? You guys eating, Josh? What do you got?
brand. Nick on brand Earnshaw.
I'm efforting to feet over here. At some point I'm going to eat. Yes.
I wish I was there with you guys. I'm so jealous. Yuri sounds tremendous.
It's awesome. Yeah, you gotta go flats over drums. Flats over drums all day.
Here's
Really?
the
You're crazy.
these are the crab balls I was telling you about.
No,
Andy,
we
right
get it,
here.
Earnshaw. We get it.
Man,
That was my pick.
I got to get down there.
That was my pick.
Yeah, I got like an hour, so I can grub.
Who did Billy
I'm gonna
take?
want
Tyreek Hill.
Malik Nate. All right. Yeah.
Ah. That's not on brand for you, Billy. It's not like you. You
I
a guy
thought-
with legal issues.
I thought I missed a pick because I wasn't seeing my players on the left-hand side.
Chase Brown.
Go high. Andy,
Yeah.
thoughts?
Yeah, I think Chase Brown. You know what? I like the talent there. I just wonder, are the Bengals going to have a chance to be running the football when they're going to have to air it out because their defense sucks so much?
Well, here was the thought process on the pick. I'm here back on the turnaround. I still got some talent here at receiver. I was figuring it might be a while until I can get that RB2.
Yeah, I like it. I think it makes sense. That's good, smart strategy because otherwise you don't make the pick there. Then you're really starting to dig. And we know Chase is at least going to get the first touches.
Yeah, and depth at running back is so tough after
Yeah.
those first, second rounds.
Oh yeah, like right now it's pretty much borderline committee the rest of the way.
All right, so it's right away. We are live here at Uries at the foot of the bridge in Wildwood, of course. We are in the 97.3 ESPN Fantasy Football League. Our draft live on location. If you want to have your fantasy draft, you get to come to Uries just like we are doing, and you could have catering food with wingdings, buff tenders, crab balls, poppers, mozzarella sticks, plus fries, chips, pretzels, happy hour drinks, and more. So book your fantasy draft now and experience the best of the Jersey Shore at Uries in the Boathouse at the foot of the bridge in Wildwood.
I'm on the clock.
Billy Schweim is on the clock. Let's get a recap really quick of who has been picked in this draft already.
I just took Jalen Hurts, baby.
So Nate
Ooh.
went back. So Nate went back to back.
my guy.
Kyron Williams.
Schweiner.
Billy, stop for a minute. Stop schwiming over yourself, okay? So we got Kyron Williams by Nate and back-to-back Terry McLaurin. Sneaky move, Terry McLaurin there, right, Nate?
Yeah, especially re-signing. He's going to be happy. Jane Daniels top target, and not really. Like Deebo Samuels is he going to stay healthy? Like Terry's going to get a lot of targets.
And then we got Brian Thomas. Alex, tell me about
that's
your
my
thinking
guy.
with Brian Thomas when you're not eating over there. You know.
Josh puts me on the spot as I'm chowing down on it.
Yeah, well, I wasn't looking at you when I asked you. Billy, what are you doing?
Just standing up looking for something. I'm here to eat, not pick. Put some mozzarella sticks on there, Nick.
Yeah, there you go. Like, I'll be the in-between here.
BTJ, I was talking about him on Sunday on the locker room. I think Trevor Lawrence This is his comeback year. I know everyone's been saying it for a while here, but BTJ was a beast last year, him and Neighbors. So I think, some of the pressure might be off of him with Travis Hunter being there. So it's not just a one-man show out there. So I think BTJ can have a big year this year.
I love that pick because of what you said there with the Travis Hunter factor. Everyone's going to be focusing on him, the razzle-dazzle, how much is he going to play on both sides of the ball. Brian Thomas Jr. is still the star receiver, and if any attention's taken away from him, that's a good thing.
See, I like back up there. I like the top guy backing me up there.
And Andy knows his stuff. Trust me. He definitely knows his stuff.
It's a good pick, man. Joe Burrow went, damn.
I actually got to say, I really like the pick by PG of Lad McConkey. I thought that was a really smart pick there.
Good pick.
Yeah.
Back-to-back quarterbacks there.
And that's the
You know,
thing.
Pete,
You get into the game of runs.
Pete, you're making some sneaky picks over there.
Hey, I'm just hanging out in the bushes, man.
Oh, there goes Jaden Daniels.
Ooh, is he going to have a regression year? That's the question, right? Is he going to go a little CJ Stroud? I think he's still going to be good.
I tend to think so, guys.
He's gonna do a CJ Stroud.
Hey, Pete, we got a viewer who has got a comment about you. Joe's watching. Says PG looks like he's hiding from his parents under his bed.
It's dark.
All right, Joe. Thanks a
There's
lot,
shadows
buddy.
in the room.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good
James
night.
Cook got taken. You rats. Oh.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Boy. All right.
All right, let me make sure I scroll this
All
thing
right.
down on the screen. Alvin Kamara by Casey Joyner, followed by James Cook, couple of back-to-back running
There
backs.
goes Trey McBride.
Yeah, I think
Trey
McBride
McBride.
might be a little high, but I wanted to get out of the other options right there. I think I can get value a little bit later, and I wanted James Cook bad, so that one hurt. That threw me a bit.
Phillies have one hit right now in the fifth inning.
Mike McGarry and Mike Gill told us that the National League is all wrapped up.
Oh.
Philly's got it.
That's why I don't listen to a Mets fan.
He is a Mets fan.
That's the problem.
That was all
He's not worse than
purpose.
Mr. Met. You should have seen him gloat today.
I saw Mr. Met last night, actually, when I went for a walk on the boardwalk.
You should have seen. You should have seen the smile on his face. We've got a standing bet each series the Phillies and Mets play together. We bet for lunch. I owe him a lunch.
Wow, Nick Earnshaw went Pat Mahomes.
Whoa. Whoa.
I got my eye on a couple people, but I just hope they're there.
Well, I got a couple of wide receivers, so I'm not loving my picks, but I'm not hating them either. So I got the main guy I won in the first round. I got Jacobs. I'm always dying to get running backs.
There you
I
go.
got Jacob. Yeah. I got Hampton to go along with Irving, so I'm pretty happy with that because Najee Harris almost blew his eye out with fireworks. And we know Harbaugh's going to be running the ball.
Yeah, playing with fireworks is not a good idea.
No.
Sorry,
Why do they
kids.
play with fireworks? Get somebody else. You're rich.
JPP.
Exactly.
Insane.
Jace Pierre-Paul, one of those notable Tampa Bay.
All right,
Yeah,
selfishly,
and then
I
the club.
I need some Andy McNamara analysis on Nick taking Chuba Hubbard.
It's spicy, like probably some of the wings there at Uries. It's a bit high for me. Look, Chuba Hubbard's a Canadian, so I root for him to some degree, but I just, man, I don't know. That I probably would have waited a little bit, but if you think it's your guy, you take him, right? You do the research, you take him, then you got to live with it.
By the way, for those who don't know, Andy, who's been coming on the show with me for years, he's located outside of Toronto, so
Yes.
still
Oh, I
happens to
love
be
the
a Browns
Browns.
fan.
Yeah.
He's a Browns fan, so we could all understand his
Maybe he
pain.
follows Chief of the Toronto Maple Leafs too, right?
There you go.
By the way, Andy, Billy Schweim, good friends with Craig Berube.
Really?
Chief. Yeah.
There you go.
Rich Tockett.
Listen,
Rick
he's a
Tockett.
oh yeah, talking to.
Nah, he's better friends with Berube
Yeah.
than Tockett.
But Chief's a unique fella.
Oh, he's unique, all right. That's what I
He's something else.
I bumped into Steve Coates today at Great Bay.
Oh yeah, did you?
He forgot
Coatsy.
his wedge on 13, so he was going on the way back. Yeah.
Oh my god.
He had
I
his
love that
he had
guy.
his flyers, golf cart,
Of course he did.
nameplate on the side, all decked out.
All right, let's get an update on these draft picks here. So Dashawn
Mike
took
Evans goes.
Kenneth Walker, then Garrett Wilson taken by Casey Joyner. DeAndre Swift, the former Eagle, went to Jim McClain.
Good pick.
And then what's that, Andy?
I'd say good pick for Swift because he did well enough behind that crappy Bears offensive line last year. They've upgraded that significantly. I think DeAndre Swift is a steal at this round. It's a great pick.
Jim, Andy says good pick, DeAndre Swift.
That's a really good
Andy,
one.
Andy McNamara. He says
Good pick,
thanks, buddy.
Good pick, brother.
Andy, I got a question for you. Actually, how's this Rashid Rice suspension
Schweiner's
gonna affect things with the Chiefs' offense here, fantasy wise?
Boy, man, you know what? I'm really bearish on the whole Chiefs offense overall for fantasy purposes. I just feel that they're in a better real life mode now than fantasy mode. Like Xavier Worthy, I think is one of those guys who's going to get you 20 points one week, 0 the next, right? Like and Travis Kelce's clearly on the way down. I think it's going to be spread out. I'm not truly comfortable with any of them as like main fantasy guys.
By the way, in the group chat on my phone, Dashawn says people keep taking the people that he wants ahead of him, which I'm only going to dispute for one reason. Dashawn still got Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, right.
So he's not. I guarantee you, no one was taking Lamar Jackson at that point except for Dashawn Hendricks.
See,
Right.
this is a crime that all these guys have a bye week 8. Like, what's going on here?
I'm not even checking that.
That's the other thing, right? I've been caught with that before. You look up at the end of the draft, like, week 8's going to suck.
Yeah, week 8 is going to suck.
We call that a scheduled loss.
Yes.
Throw in the towel
Scheduled
that week.
loss. I like that, Nick.
What'd you say, Nick?
A scheduled loss.
I said we call that a scheduled loss.
There we go.
Famous quote from Doc Rivers, former 76ers coach.
Former everybody coach. By the way, I can confirm. Let me see here. I might need to scroll down.
Damn.
All right, guys. So I'm gonna pop you out for a minute, okay? Of the feed here. We are live on my YouTube X and at the 97.3 ESPN X. Let's bring Casey Joyner, the football scientist, into the conversation because it wouldn't be a football conversation without Casey Joyner joining us. Casey, how you doing today?
Great. Apologies. I had a little stuff come up at home, so I'd be a little bit late. But man, loving this draft. This is I was surprised to see Allen go when or Lamar go when he did. Because I planned on taking Allen at 19 and saw Lamar going early because I'm like bullish on quarterbacks this year. So you guys are one of the few rooms of that where this has been coming up like that.
Baker went.
I think one of the sneakier picks of this draft so far, I got to be honest, the fact that Scott Grayson snagged Mike Evans, I think I feel like Mike Evans every year is like this monster stud in fantasy football, right, Casey?
He is, and this year, look, Godwin might not be back till October. You've got a new wide receiver. Otten's hurting early, so it's like, well, I know he just barely made 1,000 last year, but I think they're to look at it and go, look, we need you to be our workhorse early on. We needed to catch stuff now, and we'll lean in everybody else a little bit later once you start getting healthier. So, yeah, I think he's primed to get out to a great start.
All right.
I gotta admit, guys, I'm a little surprised Bo Nix was picked ahead of Baker Mayfield. I think Alex just I mean,
wild.
Andy's over there shaking his head. Alex might have just stolen his quarterback right there.
He did. I was primed and ready to take Baker, bring him home, but he's stolen from me again, just like in real life. I won't be taking Deshaun Watson, I'll tell you that. Maybe some Flacco fever later. We'll see.
I would hope not. I would hope not.
Oh, Pacheco. All right.
The question of the draft is Tanner McKee going to get drafted at some point tonight?
Oh my goodness.
No, Sam Howell. Now with Tanner out. When's he going? No, I'm just kidding.
Either Andy or Casey chime in on this. Billy took Isaiah Pacheco, South Jersey's own. Is that a little high for Pacheco in the 5th round?
Depends. It depends what the roster was like. Did he have another running back already? If not, that's sort of the end of the top-ish guys, I would say, when you look at that, right? It's still going to be a bit of a timeshare, but we saw that the Chiefs aren't afraid to run the football and go away from that overall. So I do like the Pacheco pick. We'll just have to see how they maneuver it through the year. But at that point, round 5, that's still one of the better picks, I think.
I'll split that's another. Go ahead.
He's also my second back. My first back is Saquon Barkley. So
nice. Beauty. That's a nice combo. That's a nice combo.
I like the Jameson Williams pick. Greatest team ever. I really like that pick. They have said that the offensive coordinator, he was one of the few receivers last year to have a double-digit yards per target. It was like 11 yards, one of the best yards per target in the league. And the offensive coordinator has already said, we're going to send him more passes this year. Like, we know he's done well last year. But we think we're going to send him, get him even more involved. I'm very much bullish on where Jameson Williams can get this year, because it's rare to see a double-digit yards per target. And you look at his skill set and you go, I bet he could do it again.
See, I made the mistake personally of trying to go too heavy a wide receiver earlier. So now I'm not liking the wide receivers available now, because and Andy and Casey can chime in on this. I'm very wary of taking Xavier Worthy because I'm still worried about the KC offensive line.
I'm worried about the fact that he's 165 pounds. He's their best short pass receiver. He's their best red zone threat. He runs the ball. They already have enough for him. He's never had, I think it's 82 is the highest that he's ever had in scrimmage plays in the season. So, and that's including his college career. Teams know he just can't. You can't give this guy 100 rushes, receptions. You cannot give him 100 scrimmage plays. You can't do it. He's more hold up. They may again front load him early, knowing that they have to. But I don't think you want to do that. 100 again. I even look. I'm going to go to the Chiefs site just to make sure that I'd see the 165 pounds. Right? Yep, it's in big red letters. 165 pounds. I think there's a limit. I think you've got to use them in the short passes to carry all the stuff that they have, and they're going to want you to get him involved in vertical passes. But I think you're like, well, we're not going to deconstruct the rest of our offense to make sure that he can do that. We're going to make sure to save him for that. So I think he's got. I like what he is. I think he's got very solid value. I just don't think there's a ton of upside over these 6 weeks because again, 165 pounds.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's still more of a gadget guy. And you're going to have boom or bust weeks, right? You're going to have big weeks. You're going to have 0 weeks. And depends how much you want to rely on the guy. That's the issue.
Andy's going to be mad at me, but oh well, Andy.
Oh, you took Jerry Judy, my guy. Oh, that's okay. I was targeting at this spot. Tony Pollard. Ty Spears is out. Pollard time.
It's football.
Let's go. I kind of like my running backs now. I got Bucky Irving, Marion Hampton, Pollard. Kind of a nice little mix.
Yeah, we're streaming it live on YouTube today.
I think Hampton could have a better year this year than Genty does.
I love Hampton. And Harbaugh's running the ball, and Harris is old anyway and is missing half of his eye. So that's fine. Yeah. I think it's going to be
missed a good joke, obviously. Andy or Casey, chime in on TJ Hawkinson. I saw that Earnshaw took him earlier. I'm very curious because I am not very high personally on JJ McCarthy in his first year.
I'm with you there. You know how I feel about JJ McCarthy, Josh. I said he's Mac Jones with a better haircut on your show, right? I think I'm not a believer, but that being said, he's got to get the ball to somebody. And if it's not Justin Jefferson, it's going to be TJ Hawkinson. So I think that Adam Thielen coming back, I don't think is that big of a deal. But Hawkinson should still get the target. So at this point, he's still one of the top potential tight ends. But I am not bullish on JJ McCarthy as a player overall.
I'm a Michigan guy, a Michigan man since 1978. So
oh boy.
And I'm not even a McCarthy guy.
Oh, there you go. Okay. If you're not a McCarthy guy, Casey.
I mean, I was the national championship and all that. I'm still like, I think he's good and all that.
Yeah.
But my dude, O'Connell has shown that he can get. I mean, look what he did with Darnold last year. He can get really good productivity. So I think he'll probably be better than expected. But I'm still like, he's still first year starter. I'm like, I just can't get on the bandwagon.
I'm with you.
How we feel about Travis Kelce's potential final season in the NFL?
Yeah, well, he's going to have a great year.
Toast.
Cooked.
Wow.
He's planning his wedding. He's
done.
Well, he ain't planning anything. You know that. He ain't planning anything.
Yeah, well, that's true.
The Babylon Bee reported that the proposal didn't count because a referee came out and said Kelsey's knee did not hit the ground. So
That's amazing.
It's a good one.
maybe it'll be overturned on review or something. I guess maybe it will count, but
Yeah. I wonder what the prenup looks like. Like that's so funny. Like Travis Kelce usually, if he married just some regular person, would need the prenup for him. Taylor Swift's got to lock that down.
What does she need? Yeah.
I was say Taylor's worth like 10 times more than he is.
Yeah.
What type of ring? Like is she like, oh, that's cute. I'll add it to the other. My diamond.
Well,
wall.
I can tell you one thing. If anybody was like me and sat through the entire Kelsey pod when she was on, because I was hoping for good content and it ended up being a waste of 2 hours of my life. I can tell you that I will say this: the woman is sincerely in love with him. So, this does not feel like a flippant situation.
Right. There's no reason. It's certainly not money for either of them.
Exactly.
And, seems legit good on him. Good Cleveland kid, Travis Kelce.
Yeah. Cleveland Heights.
She's at another level as far as money goes.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's what I said. She's worth like 10 times more than he
billionaire.
is.
Yeah.
Now he did say something along the lines of that his off-field stuff was interrupting his preparations. Part of why he didn't do so well last year. Some of those Super Bowl plays, like, oh, do you want to try and block on that play? At least you make an effort. I mean, that's pretty embarrassing.
Show us something here.
I have a feeling that he's gonna that embarrassed him though. I have a feeling it's like that he's like, hey, I don't want to go out on that note. So I mean, if he's like, hey, I'm gonna do this one more year, tells her I'm gonna do this one more year, I'm gonna stay really focused on this so I can leave on a high note. Could be a bounce back year from that perspective. Because again, they're gonna need him because they get limitations of the rest of their offense. They're gonna need somebody to throw to because beyond beyond Worthy, it's okay, kind of hit or miss.
I was really surprised that Kansas City did not draft a tight end of note, like one of the high ones. I thought this would have been a great year to not have to force the guy to come in. You sort of transition from Kelsey to new guy. I think that was a missed opportunity.
Yeah. And I wonder if they're just thinking 1 year windows. Like we've got this Super Bowl window now. Let's just get this 1 year window here, and then if we have to rebuild, we're going to have to rebuild, and maybe we take a couple of bounce back off it and things. So it's like, but
if we can back up a couple of picks here, I want to get either Casey or Andy. You guys can. I want to hear what you guys have to say about Tet McMillan, because now with Adam Thielen traded, Alex took Tet McMillan. I think that's a fascinating pick because if you believe in Tet McMillan, that's a great pick. But if you're one of those people who thought he was maybe overdrafted by the Panthers, what do you guys think?
Big body.
Yeah.
Yeah, go Casey. Yeah.
No, yeah. You're right. He's a big body, and I got him in a keeper league because he's just I like what Carolina did at the end of last year. Got a lot of faith in Canales as a coach that he's what he can do. He's a quarterback whisperer almost, and he was able to do what he did last year. Like, okay, I see that is where this offense could be this year. If that hadn't happened, if the end of last year hadn't happened, and they were in a different spot quarterback wise, I'd be like, oh, that's terrible. But for him, I mean, I like him in my keeper league a lot, and I think he'll be have a better than expected year this year. I think he's a bit underdrafted in a lot of leagues.
Hey guys, I just went with tight end Colton Loveland. He played for Michigan, right? Is that correct? He played
Go
Michigan.
blue. Go blue.
He's a pretty solid tight end.
Oh yeah,
Rate his ability as a tight end.
They can flex him out. He's the guy who can flex out and throw a lot of passes. The only thing I worry about is not the talent and all that. The quarterback gets a lot of mouths to feed.
Yes,
that's the only concern. Can he get 100 targets? If he can get 100 targets, and I mind he's got the talent to do it. It's just you get a lot of other people you got to be throwing the ball to. That's my biggest concern. If that offense still 550, he probably gets there. If those 500, maybe not.
Still has Cole Kmet there too. It's not even just the other receiver. It's at his own position group.
Right.
But,
all right. So
the upside's still there.
So I'm going to pop Alex out of the stream for a minute because we haven't heard yet from the 12th man of the NWO. I mean, the 12th man of our league, the man who made this a 12-man league. He is back. He was with us years ago. Scott Grayson is back in the fold this year. Took a couple of years off, traveling around with the 4 kids. Sorry, Scott. I said 5 kids earlier on 97.3 ESPN. Scott, how you doing over there?
I'm sitting here minding. I'm love just I was fine off camera. You couldn't see my reactions, but yeah, no, I'm building a nice little team here. I think I've gotten a couple compliments along the way.
Now, Scott, how do you feel about the 12-man league versus the 10-man league? Because the last time you were in with us, it was a 10-man league.
Yes, 12 man's a little more challenging. I like it, but I also know some of you, and I know you'll make some picks that you'll regret later. So I'm just sitting here trying to grab the breadcrumbs that fall my way.
I'm trying to figure out who that's a bigger shot at, but I'll leave that one alone.
Good evening, Scott Grayson. The Schweiner here. We look forward to seeing you each and every Sunday throughout the football season for keys to the game. Looking forward to that.
I'm looking forward to that too. I'm looking forward to the weeks when I play you on here.
Grayson, I'm superstitious. Ever since we've had you on,
all right, Stevie Wonder,
pretty good.
Yeah, you're right.
We got to stay the course.
Yeah, got to keep winning.
Yeah. Of course, all your insight is great for the show, and it's very informative. Let's put it that way. Except for
Thank you, Billy.
But I still hope I beat you.
Check. Well, let me look at your team real quick, Billy. What's your team here?
So I got Hurts. I got Jalen Hurts. I got Saquon Barkley, Pacheco, Waddle, Tyreek Hill, Marvin Harrison Jr., and Loveland as my tight end so far.
Ooh. I'm wondering how much Hurts and Barkley will take points away from each other.
Well, I think it's going to be a high-powered offense. There's going to be a lot of points up on the board. So hopefully they split it.
I hope you're right.
I was going to go with Dallas Goedert, but that's a little too much. No, wait. 1 year I did pick all Eagles, and all I thought was holy you-know-what.
A lot of green over there, Schweim.
Look, here's one thing I will promise you, Scott Grayson. You'll never see a Dallas Cowboy on my fantasy team.
Hey, I'm with you on that one.
Andy
I strongly look away from them when I see DAL under the player. Nope.
Andy McNamara got Dak Prescott, so he saved everybody from that.
I got him. I think a bounce back year because I think they're going to have to throw the ball.
Yeah, but do you believe in the offensive line?
Well, I believe in it enough. I might have waited. I wanted Baker Mayfield. That really threw me for a bit of a loop because then that threw my quarterback stuff out of whack. So I have to swing back, take somebody else who I also like a little bit later, tag it up a little bit, and then make my choice.
I'm literally jumping in the group chat, texting Dashawn. Rice, really?
Krosky Merritt, call me Bill Wentz. How about it?
4-0 Mets.
Yeah, that's why we're playing fantasy football, Billy, because nobody cares.
What are you talking about?
They're going to get swept by the Mets. Swept by the Mets.
By the way, speaking of everybody plugging their stuff, I did want to take a minute because Nick Earnshaw is debuting an exclusive interview on his YouTube channel. Go ahead, Nick. Tell us about
man. So tonight I got to sit down with Rashard Davis, former Philadelphia Eagle, XFLer, USFLer, bounced around the NFL. We had a great conversation. We talked about his career back from high school through college, as well as his time with the Birds. So that'll be out at 9 p.m. tonight. Go back, check it out on YouTube.
Cam Scattaboo. Really, Grayson?
I went to Arizona State, don't forget.
Oh, well, that's true. That's true.
I like that cat.
And I think, listen, what else can the Giants do? Might as
Play
well run
defense.
Yeah.
Isn't that still Tyrone Tracy's backfield?
What's that?
Isn't that still Tyrone Tracy's backfield?
That's who I picked.
Yeah, you made
I picked Tyrone Tracy with.
Scattaboo's
I
gonna
needed a
knock him
running
off.
back.
Scattaboo's going to knock him off.
I was desperate for a running back at that point.
I think it says a lot for Krosky Merritt. One of the reasons I picked him is they wouldn't trade Brian Robinson if they didn't think Krosky Merritt was stepping up. If they didn't think, hey, this guy's going to be a guy we can go platoon with, because they can't make Eckler the lead back. He can do certain things, but he's past that point where you can say, hey, you're going to be our lead guy. It's going to be at least a platoon. And plus, I think Krosky Merritt's going to get the goal line carries too. Like, okay, well, I'll take that in the Washington offense, especially with their improved O-line. I think he might be being underdrafted in a lot of drafts.
Andy, it's interesting that Casey said that because you and I talked about Krosky Merritt on Saturday, and I was wondering if this move might have been about Chris Rodriguez, the running back from Kentucky. But Casey, you're saying that you think that deal was more about Krosky Merritt than Rodriguez.
when you look at the depth chart that Krosky Merritt's moved up and the fact they didn't play him last week, yeah, I think they are thinking that Krosky Merritt's going to be there, or at least they're going to give him a chance to be their guy. It's a risky pick, mind you. I mean, if he's rookie, it might not work out. He might not adjust as well as we hope. But I don't think they make that move if they don't think, even if they say, hey, we're going to go committee, which they probably don't want to do. But if they go committee, okay, there's value there. But I don't think if they thought that Robinson, if they had any questions about either Krosky Merritt or Rodriguez, they don't make that move. So yeah, I think there's a lot of untapped value in that Washington backfield.
All right, so we got to take a moment here, everybody, because as much as we slap at Billy, I think Billy just made the steal of the draft right now, because I think Matthew Golden is going to have, and I'm not saying he's the same guy, okay, but Casey and Andy, you will understand this comparison a little bit better than maybe some of the other guys. Guys like Nick and Alex, I don't even think they were even born when this guy was playing. There's a part of Golden that reminds me of Sterling Sharp. I think he can have that kind of impact because the dude is a freakazoid. He runs amazing routes. He's got sticky hands. I think he is going to be the number one receiver in Green Bay almost immediately.
Yeah, that's an interesting comparison there, Josh. The talent's there. Like you said, is Jordan. I think a lot of it goes to what type of year Jordan Love is going to have, right? Bit of a so last year. We know the talent's there. Where does he come in? And that's going to be interesting. If they can hook up and create a real bond, that could be a scary duo.
Guys, I made Billy quiet. This is the quietest he's been all day. I gave him a compliment. He doesn't know what to do.
We're all going to explode.
By the way, Jordan Love.
God.
Jordan
Eagles
Love.
deep. Oh boy. Wow.
My biggest concern on Golden is that the Packers tend to call passes more. They've focused their offense more around. They call by scheme versus by matchup. They don't usually triangle matchup, even though they got some really good receivers. Golden might be the guy. One of the reasons they might have picked him is Golden might be the guy that says, hey, we like to call by scheme and say, okay, we're going to run these concepts to go get somebody open. Golden might be the guy to go, hey, look, we're going to run a scheme over here on the field, but over on the boundary, we got Golden one-on-one. We're just going to go to that matchup. I think they want to have that element to their offense. If that incorporates him in that level, in that manner, yeah, then I think he could be a go-to guy. And that's the kind of thing that Sharp did for the offense back in the day. So, yeah, apt comparison.
I got a question for the experts here. I just went with Evan Ingram as my tight end one. I was kind of going back and forth between him and Kraft, and I was figuring, in that Green Bay offense, I think there's just too much talent there to where Kraft can kind of get, lost in the sauce a little bit there. And I figured Evan Ingram, it's kind of an open field there to where he can really take a lot of these passes from Bo Nix. Just want to know your thoughts on the, tight end situation there.
I see it sort of like a little bit like the Chicago situation that we mentioned. Not that the player isn't talented, but is he going to get enough targets? Is he going to get enough opportunities? Because Tucker Kraft, I think, could have a breakout year. It's just that if, right? It's just that if he gets enough targets and enough timeshare out of all those options.
By the way, Billy took a defense, so I think it offsets. All right, so really quick question, because Jim McLean just took Jordan Addison. So, Casey and Andy, I want your thoughts here. Which is a better grab and stash? Is it Addison for the Vikings, or is it Rice for the Chiefs?
Addison for a couple of reasons. One, it's 3 games versus 6, so it's half the number of games. And two, Addison, I think that when they get Thielen, they're going to slot Thielen in where they've got him in there, and now they're going to have this could be a plus or minus, but this is where how good is JJ McCarthy? They're going to have Jefferson, they have Addison, they're going to have Thielen, they're going to have Hockenson. Man, you can't try and stop any of them. And I think once you bring, once Rice comes back, by the way, the Chiefs have a really brutal pass defense schedule this year, one of the lowest matchup points totals in my draft guide. I think that in that offense, you're going to be able to focus more on him than you are on Addison. So the other two together, I'm probably leaning Addison as the better stash.
I'm being quiet right now because I'm very curious who Earnshaw is going to take ahead of me right now. Because I'm next on the clock. I'm man on deck in this situation. And Earnshaw's got a very, 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 very serious look on his face. He's got 10 seconds to make a pick. The countdown is on. Will Earnshaw make the pick in time? All right, I'm fine. It's all about me, don't you know? I'm the one running all this thing.
You put it together.
I wanted Herbert so bad, but so the
Wow.
problem is for those,
Wow.
if you're watching the stream, it's my screen that I'm putting on the StreamYard. So every time I switch it over, I got to switch it over with my screen. So the people watching on X and YouTube at Josh Hennig at 973 ESPN, as we are live here at Uries in Wildwood, I keep having to switch the screen. So when I switch over, I'm not always paying attention because I'm doing things over here. And by the way, Nick, while you're up, can you grab me a plate so I can have some wings as well, if you don't mind? Thanks you very much. But Uries in Wildwood is the place you want to be. The seafood extraordinary, the value tremendous, the sunsets on the house. Uries Waterfront is where you want to be for your fantasy football draft, just like us here at 97.3 ESPN. You can choose from catering of wingdings, buff tenders, crab balls. I think I just ate all the crab balls, by the way. Poppers, mozzarella sticks, fries, chips, pretzels, happy hour drinks, and more. So book your draft party or come down to watch the Phillies game or the Eagles this season at Uries in the Boathouse at the foot of the bridge in Wildwood. Thank you very much, Nick Earnshaw. Can you grab me some celery as well while you're at it? Because I'm not anti-green. I'm sure there's some dumb joke that goes with that, but I don't know, you guys. Let's see here. What are the last few picks here? All right, Andy, so you went with the handcuff.
Yeah. I
And-
think there's still a little bit of standalone value. Aaron Jones, I think he's 30, right? Mason has fresh legs, and I think there's a chance that maybe I'm not going to be starting him week 1, but I think at some point this season there might be the flip.
How are we feeling about Nick Chubb down in Houston?
Oh, I've heard through my Cleveland people who know Houston people that apparently Nick Chubb looks more like Nick Chubb at last year with the Browns and not as explosive as he used to be. So if he gets all the carries, if they make him a bell cow, great. But I think we're going to see a bit of a slowed down Nick Chubb, and that concerns me that they're going to be, trying to pop it more to Dameon Pierce and all that. But could still be goal line stuff. I think at this point in the draft, it's a good pick because he is the top of the depth chart right now.
And Mixon,
Mixon's done.
Yeah, 4 weeks, and it's like, and you read between the lines, you're like, 4 weeks plus. How much is it?
Well, that was the news,
year,
guys. That was the news that came out today that Mixon could be out indefinitely.
Yeah. So it's a good pick from the stance that at this point in the draft, we're pick high 120s, or you take a running back who's atop of the depth chart. Makes sense.
By the way, love Keenan Allen this year.
Oh boy, maybe
high floor. I mean, in that offense, Harbaugh, again, Michigan guy. He said it says something for Harbaugh when he says, "Hey, I didn't throw enough." I mean, this is a guy who run the damn ball is I think he wakes up every day and thinks that. But he even said, "Look, we did not throw enough last year. We're going to throw more this year. They're not going to throw 600 passes, but they're going to throw more." And they wanted to give Herbert some more reliable targets. And Allen's been there. He's going to be able to integrate to their offense really quickly. And he knows Herbert, and they've worked together for so long. I like it as a high floor, not a high ceiling guy, but somebody you're going to put in and say, hey, I know I'm going to get X amount of, especially Pete Burley, I'm going to get X amount of production out of this guy every week, and I know I'm not going to get a goose egg from him, or at least it's a really rare thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I gotta say here, I'm not fully sure who's going to have the better year, but I think both Ferguson and Kraft at this point in the draft are sneaky picks here by PJ and by Nate, respectively. Yes, Alex?
I'm just waiting for someone to bash my pick. I'm just waiting for it to come. Like,
for JJ?
I've heard
JJ
so
McCarthy.
much trash talk on my guy. Look,
Wow.
I'm a Penn State guy too.
Your
Just
guy,
graduated.
JJ? You guys friends?
I've got him in 2 keeper leagues.
You hang out?
I think JJ can explode this year with Addison might, it's going to be a while before he comes in, but Jetta's, now you bring in Adam Thielen, even Aaron Jones in the running game. You got Hawkinson out there. I think JJ McCarthy with Kevin O'Connell as his offensive minded head coach.
Here's the tough question for the group. So Alex took JJ McCarthy. Mr. Negadelphia took Tua. Which is the riskier pick?
Tua. Tua's got to make sure
Yeah.
he can walk into a game every week.
Tua had he had some of the best vertical pass metrics a couple years ago. Last year he had some of the worst vertical pass metrics, and he had some of the best short pass metrics. I think, and I've had discussions with people. We have a Discord channel available at The Athletic now, free to join. You should go check it out. We've had discussions where people are like, hey, is it because of this or that and the other? It's like, look, I think that what happened is they said, we don't know if Tua is going to be able to stay healthy. So, you know what, we needed to stay healthy all season. We can't have him drop back and take the vertical passes, dink and dunk, dink and dunk, dink and dunk. I think they'll do it again this year. They might throw a bit more vertical, but I just, and if you got dink and dunk, okay, well, there's some value there, but you've got to have vertical passing in order to have value as a fantasy quarterback. And if they do go vertical, I don't think he makes it through the season.
Now, my debate was either going JJ or going Drake May, but I just like the weapons and the resources that JJ McCarthy had rather than Drake May up in New England.
And O'Connell, look what he did again. If Darnold had been in a lot of places, but he made it look like a Pro Bowler last year. And then he said, "Well, we're out of here. We're going to somewhere else." Like, wow, you must have a lot of confidence in JJ's ability if you do that. That's the plus of him. I just don't. They never ran a pass offense at Michigan, and I have concerns, but I don't think I don't think it's a bad pick in round 11 at all. I think it's a good pick for round 11.
All right, so for those who are watching on the stream, Alan X on YouTube, thank you for joining us. We're live from Uries at the foot of the bridge in Wildwood for our 97.3 ESPN draft party. Everyone's chowing down here. Amazing food. Phillies are losing, but we got a fantasy draft to get to. Jim McClain just took Rashad White. Before that, Jaden Higgins was taken for the Texans, and then Trey Benson by PG. So we're kind of getting to the point of the draft, guys, where now it's, low risk, high reward, right, Casey?
Yeah, it is, and that's the thing. You can, at this point of the draft, you either take percentage guys, high floor guys that we were just talking about, or you try and go for guys. You swing for the fences. Like I just took Najee Harris. I don't know. I mean, is he going to be? What's he going to be? Is he going to be able to come back? He's in an offense that wants to run the ball, and he could if he's healthy. And who knows what happens to the eye? But willing to take the chance that maybe give him another month, and he'll be able to. We've had one-eyed people. Fred Arbanos was a one-eyed tight end back in the 60s for the Chiefs, and he was pretty good. It's not like it's never been done in the NFL before, so I'll take him.
I have a question with Rashad White. Now, Bucky's, the number one in that offense, but I'm hearing a lot about Sean Tucker, the number 3 behind Rashad White. And, he could be a very expendable White, in real life, not fantasy wise. Is there a world where he gets moved and, they kind of give Sean Tucker that RB2 spot?
I think it very well could, because alternate backs, you don't really worry as much about them, obviously, as your lead backs and things. And the talent is there, and other teams will go, will there be a point at which another team would pay the price for that? Yeah, I think based on what reports on the camp, they view them, as you're saying, as kind of equal, or at least similar. And so you go, hey, if we get a good offer for White, we'd go ahead and send him along the way because we like Tucker. So I could see that happening. And again, if White gets moved to another offense, if there's somebody trades for him, you're not trading for him to make him an alternate back or a bench guy. You're going to get him in the offense, I would think.
There's potential. There's potential there, and injuries happen all the time, right? So you just need just one of those to happen, and it could be a nice little trade chip. I'm on the clock in one pick. What do I want to do?
In case anybody missed it, Bryce Harper swung his bat into the New York Mets dugout and almost took the heads off of 3 New York Mets players.
You either what's the saying from The Dark Knight? You either die a hero, you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
He was always the villain. Kyle Pitts finally goes.
Oh, I pick Kyle Pitts every year, and I hate myself after. But I took McBride first, so I'm not relying on Kyle Pitts. I'm taking him, and if I have to dump him, I can do it this year.
That's funny.
Like 5th year, and he's only 24 still. I have David Njoku comparisons with Kyle Pitts because Njoku flashed and didn't, and really without Joe Flacco, he hasn't been consistent. So I kind of see those comparisons because the raw athleticism is unbelievable. But can Penix get him the ball? And can he catch it? That's going to be the question.
By the way, great pick by Dashawn Hendricks, the 2-time league champion for the 97.3 ESPN Fantasy League. Adam Thielen and JJ McCarthy have been working out this offseason together before the trade even happened.
Ooh.
So there is already a built-in connection there between those two.
And Thielen post when that happens, I'm going home. You know, the Carolina guy's like, wait, you've been here. Isn't this your home for the moment at least? It's like, nah, that's not in his mind. No, he's going back home. Yeah, I think, yeah, he's going to be. I think people are. I'm looking at his ADP going. It looks like people think he's just going to be like a 3-game filler. No, he's not. Naylor's going to go to the bench, or Naylor's going to get slotted back once all this gets moved back in. I would not be. And when you look at Thielen's numbers, by the way, last year, they were really good. A lot better than people think. Like, oh no, he's old and he's done. Like, well, if you look at his late season numbers, he's not old and done. He did that in an offense that probably isn't as good as the one he's going to. So, you can cap maybe a 75, 100 targets for the year. But hey, if you get that other guy this late in the draft, that's real good.
All right, so I'm going to ask the experts. So I am very nervous about Matthew Stafford this year. I think getting an epidural in your back before the season starts is not usually a good sign. And as someone right now is recovering from my own latest back injury, I can tell you right now, I definitely would not be able to play quarterback right now.
It's
nasty.
We got depth in quarterback though, so if you got enough depth, you just got to make sure you back him up with somebody who's pretty reliable. You know, if you do that, it's a solid pick. Or at least if you're making him your start, make him your backup. The idea is you hope you can get another backup later on if he does get hurt.
I think Billy needs to hear about Cedric Tillman from the Browns expert, the host of the Sick Podcast, Andy McNamara, at AndyMC81, at AndyMC Sports on Instagram. Andy, give Billy Schweim the lowdown on Cedric Tillman.
I love the potential of Cedric Tillman. I've shown Josh many times. I have not one, but 2 autographed jersey patch, small print rookie cards up on my wall here. And Cedric can't stay on the damn field. He's got concussions. He sat out the last preseason game. He's injured, but the body is there, and there's not a lot of options on this Browns offense. You have Jerry Jeudy, you have David Njoku, and then a lot of what ifs. If he can get on the field, this guy can be a player, especially with Joe Flacco. The question is if. I'm a believer, but he's got to get on the damn field.
And he's got to stay healthy all year.
And he's got to stay healthy, right? But the body's there. Man, he's good. 50 balls. Like, this guy could be a stud. It's just so frustrating. Get on and stay on.
Talent trumps all this time of the draft. If you got a guy who has a lot of upside talent like that, I mean, that's that's somebody to go for. Absolutely. Like the Hollywood Brown pick too. Andy Reid has been saying for the last 2 years, I want to go vertical more. We're going to improve a vertical game. We're going to vertical game. And again, people, it's like, okay, well, who could you do it with? And Brown's the guy you could do it with. He's done it before. They changed it to a dink and dunk guy for a couple of years there, but he still has the ability, I think, to share the top off defenses. If Andy Reid wants to force passes to, and you got Patrick Mahomes throwing to you, okay, I'll take that in round 12.
Yeah.
How are we feeling about Brendan Ayuk coming into this year?
Not great. Gonna pass on old Ayuk.
Well, let me back up my reasoning here. You know, I got my wide receiver room set with Tet, BTJ, and JSN. Figuring, if he can, recover from this injury in a decent time, maybe get a midseason in there, maybe get, some points out of him down the stretch playoff time, it might be a sleeper pick.
Yeah. Anything's possible.
Thanks.
Thanks.
It could.
Appreciate it.
It could. Positive energy.
Oh my goodness. We are live here at Uries Waterfront Restaurant in Wildwood for the 97.3 ESPN Fantasy Football Draft. Live on YouTube and X at Josh Hennig at 97.3 ESPN. We are now currently in the 13th round of a 12-man league. Isn't this much faster than last year, guys?
Way faster.
Yeah.
And we got more teams.
Jim?
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody. By the way, Jim is wearing a custom with his last name jersey with number 10. It's Andy, you'll appreciate this. It's the white with the Kelly green numbers.
Ooh, nice. I like that.
Who was number 10? Old Eagle, Mike Barillia.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a flash of the past.
That's old
Grayson.
school. Yeah. My son goes back and watches all those old NFL films, things with Facenda and things. And the thing is, they're great for the Eagles in the 70s, in the early 70s, but the team is just so abysmal. And yet they're still compelling because it's Facenda and it's NFL films at their peak,
Mm-hmm.
Wow, they had a 4-10 season. Boy, that seemed great. It was very entertaining.
Right, they're entertaining.
Josh, I got to say, I love the Ollie Gordon pick.
Yes.
Well, I took
Aw,
Andy
damn.
McNamara's advice.
No, I knew I shouldn't have told you about him. Oh my
Andy-
God! I've been following Ollie since 2023. Damn it!
Andy was Andy, for those who don't know, Andy comes on Hanging with Hennig every Saturday at 1:25 on 97.3 ESPN. We stream live on YouTube and X on at Josh Hennig. And I asked him, are there any hidden sleepers? And Ollie Gordon was one of the guys he mentioned. And I had 10 seconds on the clock, and I was like, all right, here we go.
My guy. It's okay.
He just had that down year in college this past year,
Yeah,
which I
but
think
the O-line sucked.
plummeted his stock.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. The O-line was trash. 20. I think this guy had the sky's the limit if he's able to get opportunities. Which maybe I think Shane is not as bad. The injury's not as bad as they thought, so we'll have to see. But if he gets a shot, I think he could do something special.
All right, guys. First kicker taken.
Let's go. Cameron Dicker.
Now I took Chase McLaughlin before you.
Oh, you did?
McLaughlin. Yeah.
And Elliot went in.
But I got it.
Oh,
I got
did he?
Elliott too.
But yeah,
Oh, he did
Billy
take
took
McLaughlin.
Elliott 4 rounds ago.
Dicker the kicker.
Dicker the
So-
kicker.
So literally, I saw
That's
that
why I started
Earnshaw
laughing.
took Dicker, so I had to take Butker because there's nothing like Dicker and Butker.
Dicker
with
and
two kickers
Bucker
back to
back
back.
to back. Oh,
Now, I got the other one I told you about, Josh. I'm not letting you get him. Harold Fannin Jr.
Ah, that's my guy.
I know. He's mine now.
I got one sleeper here that I'd be shocked if he goes.
But don't tell anybody because they might go.
Yeah, don't say anything.
Thanks, Josh. This is my first
You're live
fantasy
here.
draft. Thanks, Josh.
Oh gosh.
I
I'm doing
think-
2 drafts at once right now.
Yeah, well, that's because you're ridiculous. So I last night I have my buddy Joey's draft. Tonight's 97.3 draft. Tomorrow I'm in Dashawn Hendricks' league.
Jeez.
So I got 3 straight days of drafting.
I'm drafting tomorrow as well.
Yeah, I got 2 tomorrow and then 1
We
Sunday.
need you paying attention in the studio tomorrow because we're broadcasting live from high school.
Yeah, pay
The
attention,
draft
Josh.
at 9 o'clock. I
Pay
think I'm
attention.
safe, right?
It's
What
gonna
is the max? What's the max amount of leagues you should be in?
That's a good question.
Billy, you're up.
Am I up?
Andy,
Just
your
like
thoughts.
that.
What's
What
the
do you
max
think?
Andy,
amount of
what do you
leagues?
think?
All right, I'm gonna go
Well,
with,
I'm in 5,
Zach.
which is too many. I would say ideally 2 to 3. I'd say 3 max. Otherwise, because what I find myself in, I'm in 5. I can't cheer or cheer against anybody because I probably have one of them in one of my teams. So I'm just watching
Right.
just at the screen, like, let's have it. I can't cheer because there's everybody. I got everybody, so I don't know. So it's tricky. I think to get the most joy, probably more than one, because you don't want to just have one, because then if it's
No.
a stinker, you're done. At
Right.
least 2, 3. 3's probably the tops.
I know people in the industry.
Andy,
who,
I'm with-
go
Oh,
ahead.
go, Casey.
I know people in the industry who will have double-digit amounts of teams.
Oh, I know.
mean,
I know it's wild.
It's insane. I've got
Yeah.
5, but I tell you, one of them that I'm in, in all the leagues I care about, like these are leagues I want to be in. I don't just, if people make it, hey, we want to join this league. I'm like, probably not, unless I
Yeah.
have a reason to want to join it. But I'm in a football diehards league. It's a 32-team league. It's a dynasty league, 32 teams. We have 9 starters, 11 starters on defense, 9 stars on offense, 11 stars on offense, 9 stars on defense. You're starting DS, you're starting defensive end, defensive tackle, linebacker. You're starting players at every position you can have.
Wow.
Every player can be on 2 different teams. It's FAAB. It's the most ridiculous league in the world. So once you join that league, whatever other league you're in, you're probably going to be competing with yourself at some point. You have there's no way you can't not have an overlap there.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
it's an incredible challenge. It's a great league. It's Mike Harris and Bob Dempsey, one who's
I'm on the clock.
Bob Harris, Mike Dempsey, who started it. But they, it's an insane league, and that's a Mike Dempsey special. But yeah, like I said, I'd like to have one challenging league too. I would not have another league like that. I want leagues that are not this challenge, but like that level of challenge. Like if I have one of those, that's it. I don't want to get in anything that's going to strain the brain. I want to be like, okay, look, I want to have teams where I want to have a league where, okay, I've got some straightforward rules. Where that one,
Right.
it takes an hour to prep your team every week.
Yeah, I bet. I like having, just even for just for doing my show or going on other shows, I like to have different types of leagues because then if people are asking questions, you're in a PPR, a half PPR, you're in a dynasty, you're in a keeper, that type of thing to have a bit of a variety.
So really quick, let's recap some of these picks here, guys. So Alex, was Mason Taylor the sleeper you were talking about?
He was the sleeper I was talking about.
Andy Casey, thoughts on Mason Taylor?
Love the talent. Don't like
Yeah.
the quarterback. Listen, I don't know why I don't hear anybody concerned with the Jets quarterback situation. What has Justin Fields said? And I'm an Ohio State fan. I want just good things for Justin Fields. But why is there anyone should have any confidence at all that Justin Fields can do anything consistently at the quarterback position? I think it's a train wreck. I took all Jets off my board this year. I didn't want any of them because I don't trust the quarterback. So I like Mason Taylor. I hope they get improved quarterback next year and he jumps up. But the talent is I like him a lot. I liked him a lot coming out of the draft.
Well, I took something out of that I liked.
Boom. All right. Defense is done.
Let's get a recap here really quick. So we got a couple more defenses that went. Nate took the Vikings. Alex took the Ravens. Mr. Negadelphia, PJ, he took the Buccaneers.
Bucks.
Billy Schweim with his second South Jersey High School graduate, Mike Gesicki. So Billy is now drafted Vineland High School and Southern Regional. I'm paying attention to what you're doing over there.
It's a method to my madness.
Maybe this is the 1 year you'll win, Billy.
So, fellas, I just got to tell you, 1 year I picked all Eagles. I'm ridiculed. But guess what? I had a lot of fun watching my team. You know what? You will not see me pick a Cowboy. I don't care how good they are.
What about a Giant?
I might pick a Giant. But you see what I'm saying? I'm invested in my team.
Yeah.
When I watch my team, I want to be in the stands rooting for a guy like say we're playing Green Bay or something. I got to root for somebody like to score against us. I can't do that.
Yeah, totally with you. I can't pick a Steeler.
No, can't do it.
I got a question. It says there's no running backs left. I would have to think there's some players that play running back left in the NFL that are available.
Only four available per team.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah.
Right.
Probably. How many running backs did you have?
Oh, they cut it. There you go. Yep, I got 4. I was very confused. I'm like, there's got to be running backs.
So I limited running backs. I think it's running backs 4, wide receivers 8, quarterbacks 3. Because there was a few years ago that somebody started hoarding quarterbacks, and it became an absolute disaster.
Wow.
I kicked that guy out of the league, by the way. So
Get him.
Yeah.
When is the Eagles buy, Nick? Here, let me look at my.
Look at Jalen Hurts. He's your
Look at your
quarterback.
team, Billy.
I like that Bateman pick, by the way. The recent week that came up. I like that for the value of this round and things. I think we all kind of underestimate how good of a passer Lamar Jackson is. He's one of the best passers in the league now. Yeah, he still gets his fantasy value a lot of it from the running game. But that's I don't think he's going to pass first team. But at this level, boy, I really like that. That's one of those high floor picks at this level. By the way, I picked Denver back in round 9, the Denver DST. They're the only defense on my board that has a blue rating, meaning it's an elite team. I've got across the board 100 grades for Denver's DST this year. I think they are hands down by far the only defense that's like you can put in every week. Like every other defense, you're probably going to have to spot start at some point. I think it's the only one. So it's the only reason I took them that early. Like I'm suggesting people consider taking a defense that early if it's them. Otherwise, wait.
Really quick, so Casey, can you just give the those who might be tuning in for the first time, might not know, you've been coming on with Mike Gill for years on 97.3 ESPN, football scientist Casey Joyner. Explain to us the color rating system so people understand a little bit about why that's relevant.
It comes from my draft guide, which is available at thefootballscientist.com. It's the 22nd year of the draft guide. It's a system that says what I do is I've got these really detailed matchup charts, and each one it's the players are graded by the defensive players are graded by red, yellow, and green. And red is an unfavorable matchup. Yellow is an okay matchup. Green is a really favorable matchup. Of course, you want to get as many green rated matchups as possible. And I tell people when it comes to like those matchup points, when you're looking at matchups, you only want to go on the edges. That if you've got it's a 1 to 100 scale. So I'm like, if somebody has 40, the other guy has 60, okay, it's not that big a difference. But if you got somebody who's like as 1 to 20 because higher is better. If you get somebody who's like 1 to 20, that's a really unfavorable schedule. If you're comparing them to somebody who has, say, 80 to 100, a really favorable schedule, the 80 to 100, you should take that person every time because there's enough there. There's a big enough difference in the matchup points to make a difference. So, like, I like Ricky Pearsall a ton this year because he's got a fantastic matchup point schedule and just submitted an article to the Athletic's going to run tomorrow morning that shows that he even has what I'm considering like peak upside plays, like not just like an individual player with shorter good, but like, hey, this could be really good games. He's got among the highest total that among wide receivers this year. So take a look for that at the Athletic tomorrow morning.
By the way, the Titans have announced that Cam Ward, the number 1 overall pick, is one of the team's 7 captains for this season. How about that?
As
Wow.
you should.
Okay.
Go.
Yeah.
1 pick.
And very quiet too, which I think is a good thing. Like no one's talking. More people are talking about Shedeur Sanders than Cam Ward, which is wild. And I think he's going to be good.
I think that he's got. We look at that what he did in Miami. He's got the leadership. He's used to being in the spotlight. It doesn't faze him. And I think if they had thought, hey, that's going to rattle him at all, they wouldn't have put that pressure on him. So it says, okay, hey, and mind you, their coach Callahan, look. I'm not saying this is going to be a Joe Burrow situation. He's coached Burrow before, so he knows what it's like to coach a really good quarterback, and he knows what it looks like. Hey, this is what elite quarterback play looks like. So it shows they have a lot of confidence in him if they're doing that.
So I hate to be the guy who keeps picking on Alex, but Alex took a quarterback that might be one of the more controversial fantasy football quarterbacks. Andy McNamara's favorite, little Bryce Young.
Little Bryce Young. You know who's he's the only man that might be comparable in size is the guy the Browns drafted in the 3rd round, Dylan Gabriel. He's a bit taller. I don't understand. Is he getting a bit better? I'm impressed that he wasn't just flattened out of the league by now. But man, like right now, if he's not your main quarterback, it's a backup. Could he have a good week? Sure. It's not a bad pick. They're going to be chucking the ball, I'm sure, but I just can never trust him. I have no time for Bryce Young. I'm still mad that I was stupid. The Panthers where you didn't take CJ Stroud. How stupid did they look not taking CJ Stroud?
Well, he's my quarterback 3 on this roster, so I figured if someone goes down, I got someone who I can throw in.
Yeah, totally fine. In that case, absolutely. Your 3rd guy, you can drop him if need be for somebody else. Totally fine.
Canales learned what he could do with him last year too. It's small quarterback that's tough. Tarkenton was small, and maybe I did an article years ago for The Athletic about the greatest fantasy player of all time. Tarkenton was probably it, actually. As crazy as that sounds, he was probably the greatest fantasy player of all time. And, and Wilson's been great for years and is a smallish guy. But, generally speaking, you don't want to do it. But if you know how to plan around it, you get some productivity. So as far as a spot starter right now, especially for a 3 or backup a spot starter, I was thinking about taking it as my backup here on this team right now before I'm going to take Cam Ward since we're talking about him.
Get a little Cam in there, yeah.
Yeah, I got Josh.
Anyone have
Josh
any?
Allen's a starter, so yeah, figure.
Yeah. Anyone have thoughts on Rookie of the Year? Like, I was so sure on Jane Daniels last year. I bet him early, got a good price on him. But this year, like, is it just Cam Ward? Is it that unexciting? Like Travis Hunter's, I know, but am I trusting Travis Hunter? Yeah.
I mean, I see Marshawn Lynch there. They're like, they're going to bell cow that guy right off the bat. I made him his number 5 pick number 8 pick in this draft and things. They're just going to give him the ball left and right. I think that's what Carroll sees is his new Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, it's Genty and Bowers. That's it on that team. That's it, right?
Pretty much.
Now I'm taking guys here. I'm taking Isaac Tesla. Detroit Lions with the Tim Patrick trade. Reason being, I had Michael Fabiano from Sports Illustrated on my show. It's out right now, actually. I launched 4 p.m. on YouTube, The Sick Podcast with Andy McNamara on YouTube. And he was just giddy with the potential for Isaac Tesla as a late round sleeper. So I thought I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna pick him up.
Fabiano's rules. He's one of the best in the business, and he's right on that one because they wouldn't trade Patrick if they didn't think Tesla was going to be there. And it's okay. And you got Williams, who could be a high profile or high volume guy, and you've got a lot of guys there. So you don't have to ask him to be the guy, but you can say, maybe they just say, we've got you planned for maybe 60 to 70 targets, maybe 75. Okay, that's great. If you're in that offense, you get 60, 75 targets, and you've got. And by the way, the NFC North is the division that has the highest, what I call fireworks points total, which means are these teams going to get into a lot of shootout games, a lot of scoreboard shootouts? That division easily has the most. So,
Right.
get Tesla out there in some of those games. You're doing pretty good.
Okay. Got one more pick. Ooh. Now I'm torn. I'm taking the Cleveland Brown here, guys. Am I taking Joe Flacco for fun because I love me some Flacco fever? Or am I going Isaiah Bond, who would have been second or third round pick, got relieved of the charges on him, and apparently in 3 days picked up the playbook, and the Browns love him. I talked myself into Bond. I got to take him. I'm going to take Bond. There we go.
I have Isaiah Bond on my taxi squad on my one keeper.
Yeah?
League. Love Isaiah Bond.
Nice. Tons of potential. And there's a void in that Browns. Like we talked about Cedric Tillman. I love Cedric Tillman, but if he's not on the field, you have Jamari Thrash. Well, he hasn't really done much, but has potential. And Isaiah Bond, it looks like they are so impressed. And they were courting him through this whole time where he was in limbo. And as soon as he got acquitted, they snatched him up, and Bond was just so grateful that the Browns kept in touch with him. So he picked up that playbook in 3 days and played in the preseason game.
Let's pop Nick in here one more time, the defending champion. So, Nick, you and I just had our final picks.
We're done.
You went Giants defense, so I couldn't get the Giants defense.
I have Pittsburgh and Giants now, so I will flip flop throughout the season.
Yeah, I went Patriots and Chiefs.
I'm a waiver wire fiend too, so.
Well, it's a good thing we don't charge extra for that in this league. So. I'm actually in a league that it's like an absolute disaster. Like the guy was explaining the rules for like getting free agents, and I was like, I don't even understand this. It's just too much. It's like at that point, you're just like, I don't even want to pick up on the waiver wire. It's not worth it.
I'm in a league where where you get transactional. There are costs for it and things, actual out of pocket costs and things. And there's one guy there who just, hey, I think he thinks he could just run sort of. He makes he'll make 6 trades in a week to try to win that game that week and just change his team over the next week or two, be a completely different team. He trades players to other teams and all this, and it cost him at the end of the year. Like his out of pocket cost is much higher than everybody else, but. It's worked for him. He's won multiple championships, but man, we're all like, Papa, are you sending us another trade deal? He's a great guy, but it's like, oh my, sometimes like, my God, how can you live with having to make this many trades? But yeah.
All right, so let's wind this down. So the draft just finished. First of all, I got to pop Pete G back in here because he took the ultimate high risk, high reward, Pete. You took Aaron Rodgers.
Wow. Oh, baby.
Oh, he was almost Mr. Irrelevant for this entire draft.
So, Pete, how are you feeling about your team?
I feel pretty good. A few guys got taken right when I was about to pick, so I'm a little down about that, but I feel pretty good.
If anyone wants to make a trade for Baker Mayfield, give me a holler. I might be interested.
All right, Pete, we appreciate you jumping in, man. I'll see you around, okay?
Fellas, thanks. See ya.
Thank you.
Let's pop one more time back in here. Scott Grayson from Fox 29. Of course, you catch him, Grayson's Grades on the Sports Bash with Mike Gill on 97.3 ESPN. Also, he joins Billy Schweim for the Keys to the Game every Sunday morning during the football season. Scott, how are you feeling about your team at the end here?
I'm feeling pretty good about it for right now. Like everybody in a 12-team league, you're going to have a few weaknesses or holes that you think you might need to keep an eye on to try to fill. But, I like Burrow. I got Derrick Henry, Christian McCaffrey, Mike Evans you guys talked about. I know you were down on the Travis Kelce pick. I just think he's such a frequent target of Mahomes and the safety blanket that there's at least value there.
Definitely.
In points. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see. I like my defense, the Texans, but it's there's a lot of players. Like the 12-team league is I don't know how much you guys usually play, but 12-team league is very challenging. I mean, once you start getting some injuries and people get desperate, there's and I'm sitting here looking at it like, okay, who can I draft that you want somebody at the end that maybe has a little value through some injuries or things like that, or maybe is a surprise. that could get you some trade value in the first few weeks or months of the season. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Should be fun. I love playing this with you guys.
Well, Scott, we're glad to have you back in the league again. You can check out 973ESPN.com for Grayson's Braid for every Eagles game. Catch them on Fox 29 throughout the week and weekends at S Grayson, Fox 29 on the X platform. And, of course, Mike Gill in the Sports Bash, Grayson's Grades during the week, Billy Schweim in the locker room on Sunday mornings on 97.3 ESPN. Thanks for jumping in, Scott.
Thanks, Scott.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me, guys.
See you, Scott.
See you, son.
Scott.
All right, let's grab a couple more final thoughts from people on the stream. Alex, I'm going to pop you back in here for a minute. You had the second pick overall in the draft. Now that's all done. How you feeling?
Liking the squad right now. I got the great backfield, Bijan 102, and then, rounding that out with Chase Brown. And then I think I got a really young, really good receiving core with Ted Roy McMillan, Brian Thomas Jr., Jackson Smith, and Jigba. I think I'm in a great spot for this year.
Well, Alex, appreciate you coming down. You're doing great work with us here at 97.3 ESPN. Only been on technically the job for only a short time now, but we appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you guys.
See you Sunday, Alex.
See ya.
All right, you just heard the voice of Billy Schweim. Let's pop him back into the stream. Billy, how you feeling about your team?
Well, I like my quarterback. I like both of my running backs. And after that, I'm not really excited about my receiving core. But Marvin Harrison does have an upside. Junior.
Definitely.
Marvin
Oh, he's got a
Yeah.
huge
I mean,
upside.
he's got a huge upside. So, if he can come through, Tyreek Hill, he's questionable, but we know what he's all about. So if we can get some production out of him, I think my team's okay. Colston Loveland, I like, but after that, I get the Eagles defense, and of course I got Jake Elliott, and I'm happy with that. But I'm really happy with obviously with Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts.
Very cool. Well, Billy, I appreciate you coming down
Thank you
here.
for having
And
me.
of course, tomorrow night, Thursday night, will be the special Locker Room with Billy Schweim live broadcast on 97.3 ESPN from 6 to 8 p.m. following Mike Gill, the Sports Batch. And then, of course, every Saturday and Sunday morning, 10 a.m. to noon, Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN.
We'll be there for the IMG Winslow Township game. So we're all excited about that. Of course, Bergen Catholic, I believe it is, against East St. Louis. So some pretty good high school matchups for tomorrow night.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you'll have a good time.
Yeah, we'll have
Yeah,
fun. Thanks, Josh.
I'll be in studio as usual. So, actually, I do gotta say, Billy does let me get out of the studio more than some other people do. So Billy deserves credit. All right, a couple more people to chime in here. Nick Earnshaw, defending champion. So here's what we're gonna do. Nick, tell me how you feel about your team, and then Andy, the champion from the year before, can
Put the ring on.
react to how Nick feels about his team. How about that?
Yeah, I like where my wide receivers are at. I like having Puka Nacua, able to grab him. I like the DK Metcalf pick as well. I think that's a little bit undervalued. But also my running backs. I'm a big fan of Hubbard. I think Hubbard's going to have a big year. I know they have a nice backup behind him, but I think Hubbard's going to be another interesting running back, to say the least. He might not be top 5 or anything, but I think he could sneak into that top 10 range for sure. And then having Jonathan Taylor as the anchor is awesome. And then Pat Mahomes as the quarterback. Billy took Jalen Hurts. I wanted to take Jalen Hurts, but I had to go with the other opposing quarterback and Pat Mahomes. So I like where my team's at.
Yeah.
I think I could do a little bit better at flex. I did take Godwin.
Okay.
So when he's coming off of injury, hopefully down the line he'll have a better year as well. So I like the chances to defend the crown.
And of course, Nick's Nuggets Monday through Friday at 4:30 on the Sports Bash on 97.3 ESPN. Also producer for the Locker Room, Billy Schweim on Saturdays, co-host of The Shift. And tell folks one more time about your new YouTube venture.
Yeah,
Earnshaw.
my new YouTube channel, Earnshaw Radio. We have Rashard Davis on as our first guest. That is premiering as we speak, so you can go check that out. The new interview with Rashard Davis, former Philadelphia Eagle and Super Bowl champ.
Love it. Nick, appreciate you, man.
Thanks, guys.
All right. We haven't heard from him the whole night, but Mr. Negadelphia did finally get into the stream. We haven't heard from him yet. So, PJ, if you want to unmute your mic, what's going on, man?
What's up, gentlemen? How are you?
Hey, buddy.
Good.
I got to tell you, I'm a little negative. I'm a little agitated over here. You capped our running backs at 4. Like, is
Yes.
this some type of amateur league? Like, they're not all going to get injured, and we're going to be run with scraps at the end of this year.
Well, if a guy's injured, you put him on IR.
Oh well, I'm going to have over time. We're going to have this happen. I'm sure. You know what I mean?
Well, it all started, as I said, because there was several years ago where somebody hoarded like 5 quarterbacks, and it
It's
just is like It was horrible. It was
It's
like
the story of
depressing.
life. People ruin it for everybody, right? You know, you can't
Right.
just draft the normal thing, grab some running backs to have in the spare bank in case things go sour. But
No.
not in this league. You got to be on the ball, man. We're gonna have to be watching that pickup spot every week. We're gonna be wavering them in.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, PJ, I appreciate you jumping on. Of course, you're Mr. Negadelphia on the locker room with Billy Schweim on the weekends on 97.3 ESPN. And you're also probably the busiest man I know. So maybe one of these I'll actually get to see you in person again, okay?
We will. We'll be linking up soon, brother.
Thank you, Mr. Negadelphia, PJ Corda. Casey, before we let you go, what are your thoughts on the draft tonight?
I liked a lot of where I got things in my team. I wanted to get rid of players. I wanted to get them. I got Allen. I've been telling people, by the way, we're an article for The Athletic a couple weeks ago about a new system we got called win shares. It looks at relative performance of players in fantasy football. A lot it's a hard system to explain, but the gist of it is one of the things the system found is that quarterbacks are highly undervalued, especially if you got a 6-point passing touchdown like this. Highly undervalued. People should take them early because they're more conducive to wins than just about any other position. So like what I got there, like Genty, wasn't so sold on McNamara, like Pearsall, and then like have taken them quite as early as I did. And like I'm like okay up my receiving core, but like where I'm at with running backs and things, got a number of players, a number of prospects I wanted to get. So I think this team might have to be improved during the season, but I like where I'm at in week 1.
All right, Casey, before we let you go, plug all your stuff at The Athletic and everything else.
Yep, writing a weekly. Actually, I'll be doing 3 articles a week at The Athletic. I'll also be working on that Discord channel. We'll be talking about that during the season and things. We have a Discord fantasy football channel for you to join, so everybody stop by and check that out, and we can talk fantasy football. It's up at thefootballscientist.com. I'm going to be doing stuff for RotoWire this year. I'm going to be doing stuff for that's like the 3 top outlets of things. Still TBD on RotoWire, but definitely doing some stuff with them. So got a lot more to announce very soon.
All right, Casey, appreciate you jumping on. Of course, Monday, I believe it's going to be Mondays and Thursdays or something like that. It's going to be with Mike Gill on the Sports Bash. Keep it tuned to 97.3 ESPN. Great stuff, Casey. Appreciate you jumping in.
Thanks, Josh. Yep.
See you, Casey.
All right, and finally, there were 2. Andy McNamara,
Yes.
Josh Hennig on the stream. Andy, your final thoughts.
Well, I got to say, I love my team. I'm just a bit disappointed in my quarterbacks. I didn't want to take Dak, but there was a run. And that's the thing. When you're prepping for your fantasy draft, I had 50 players queued up, and it all depends on runs. You pick and queue up who you think will go when and what works. But if someone gets taken early or there's a run on quarterbacks, you got to jump. And so I think there is some positivity with Dak getting a bit older, injury prone a bit. So I took CJ Stroud. I think CJ Stroud is primed for a big bounce back season. So I'm a little torn week 1. Do I go Dak against the Eagles or CJ Stroud against the Rams? I'll have to figure that one out. But the rest, like my running backs, love Bucky Irving, love Marion Hampton. Tony Pollard's going to get a ton of shares there. I got Jordan Mason as a nice handcuff pickup. And tight end, I got Trey McBride, could be the best tight end in football, if not number 2 or 3. And then I got depth after that with a flyer Kyle Pitts, who if he pisses me off, Josh, I'm dropping him early. I can't take another Kyle Pitts here. I can't do it. But I got the talent. I got my guy, Harold Fannin Jr. for the Browns, who I think is going to be a chess piece. How much so? And is it fantasy relevant? That's the question. And then some nice little prospects. A wide receiver, that Isaac Tesla we talked about. Tony Horton for Seattle, or Torrey Horton, rather, who gets a bump up the depth chart. And then, of course, CeeDee Lamb, stud. Cortland Sutton, stud. And Michael Pittman, who now that it's not Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones isn't the best, but he can distribute the ball somewhat. So I like the Pittman upside there too.
All right, Andy, we'll catch you Saturday with me on 97.3 ESPN, okay?
Love it, buddy. Have a good time. Have a chicken wing for me.
I will. Of course, this is Josh Hennig signing off from Uries Waterfront Restaurant in Wildwood here on 97.3 ESPN on X, at Josh Hennig on X and YouTube. Have a great night, everybody.